Once upon a time, in a quiet little town where morning mist hugged the rooftops and people greeted each other with warm smiles, lived an old woman named Sarah. Sarah didn't have much. Her clothes were faded, her shoes had more patches than soles, and her roof leaked every time it rained. But you wouldn't know it by looking at her. She smiled like she owned the world. "Life is what you make it," she would say. "You can carry it with a frown or dance through it with a smile. I choose to dance." Every morning she walked around town, offering to run errands or help neighbors in exchange for a warm meal or a cup of tea. She swept porches, carried baskets from the market, and sometimes just sat and kept the lonely company. People adored her, not because she was rich or powerful, but because she made others feel seen. "Good morning, Sarah." "Morning, Elna. Need help hanging those sheets?" "Oh, you're a lifesaver. These kids have turned the house upside down." "I'll hang the clothes. You catch your breath and make yourself a warm cup of something." That was Sarah, always giving, never expecting. But one day, something happened. Something so strange, it would change everything. Winter was approaching. One crisp morning, Sarah picked up her old woven basket and said, "Time to gather firewood before the cold knocks." She walked into the woods, humming a soft tune. Birds chirped above, leaves crunched beneath her feet. Then something caught her eye in a shallow ditch. A sparkle. She leaned closer. "What's that now?" A pearl necklace, elegant, untouched, resting on a bed of moss. She looked around, no one in sight. This is beautiful. I've never owned anything this fine." She placed it gently in her basket and continued walking. But when she looked again, the necklace was gone. In its place, a pouch, small and leather-bound. She untied the rope. It was filled with shining gold coins. "Oh, my stars! Gold?" she gasped. "Enough to buy a house, a warm coat, and even a little rocking chair." She twirled, laughed, dreamed of having tea with her feet up. But as she blinked, the pouch shimmered. The gold vanished. Now, inside the pouch were silver bangles. "Well, silver is still lovely," she said, slipping one over her thin wrist. "So shiny." She walked on, but the pouch grew heavy. She set it down to rest. When she peeked again, the bangles were gone. All that remained was a smooth, heavy stone. Sarah tilted her head, then smiled. "You know what? I've been needing a stone to hold the gate open. This is just perfect." She chuckled and continued home, the stone tucked neatly in her basket. But just as she reached the garden path, the stone shimmered. Out came a creature, a bat, eyes glowing red and long, sharp teeth. Sarah froze, then tilted her head and smiled. "Well, hello there, little one. Aren't you curious looking?" The creature flinched. "I offered you pearls. You smiled. Gold. You laughed. Silver. You were grateful. A stone. You clapped your hands. Now I show you my scariest self, and you still smile?" "You tried to scare me?" she asked. "Yes," the creature huffed. "I expected fear, or at least a scream." "Silly bat," she grinned. "You may be scary, but you're still someone's creation, and I'm not so easy to shake." The bat paused. Then slowly, it turned into a butterfly. Its wings sparkled with every color of the rainbow as it lifted into the air and flew away. Sarah just waved. "Goodbye, little one. Come visit again." She reached home, kicked off her sandals, and opened her door. And there, sitting on the floor, was the same stone. She blinked. The stone began to shimmer. Then it transformed. A sturdy wooden chair stood in its place. "Oh," she gasped. "Just what I needed." She sat down. It fit her perfectly. Then, near the window, she spotted the silver bangles on the table, and beside them, the pouch of gold and the pearl necklace, gently resting on her old bookshelf. She smiled, but she didn't scream or shout or rush to count coins. She leaned back in her chair. In the days that followed, Neighbors started finding little surprises: a coin beneath a doormat, a shining silver bangle on their doorstep. No one knew where they came from, but Sarah, she sat in her chair, sipping tea by the window, smiling. When people asked her how she was always so happy, she'd just say, "Because I see the good, even when it hides." Moral of the story: joy doesn't come from what you have. It comes from how you see what you have. A thankful heart will always find treasure, even in a stone or a bat with red eyes. The end.